Hey guys, so as a software engineer and somebody who has been getting more and more interested and invested into building with AI agents, I've been looking for different use cases and ways to apply agentic research, autonomous agents um, to create products. And the best use case for AI at this point is to supplement or even replace the use of a human for knowledge work. You know, tasks that require research and deep learning and general just understanding of how a task works or the ability to perform some sort of analysis based on a data set. So, when you think about some of these use cases, something that came to my mind was sports betting. This is a knowledge role. There's not a whole lot more than just having very keen insights onto specific teams, following a team, doing research, analyzing stats and whatnot. It's a very viable candidate for using AI to get better results. And so that's what I did. I created BetBot, which is a fully autonomous AI agent, which essentially means I have code living on a server and it is running all the time and I don't have any sort of intervention with it. It's connected to different odds APIs where it gets games coming in. It requests games for the day, along with the odds and the spreads and whatnot. And then I let it run free. There are a couple different steps that I've taken to get the agent to make the best possible predictions. And that comes down to the idea of providing the most appropriate context for the agent when it's making its decision. When you think about how AI agents actually work, you're interfacing with, in my case, Claude. When you talk to Claude without context, Claude has no idea what it's there to just answer a question or do what you want it to do. To get the agent to actually do something useful, you provide a context blocks or just data that will help the AI model make or do its task. So how do you do this with MBA? Well, obviously, to make an informed decision, the agent should have a comprehensive summary or background on both of the teams that are competing for the matchup, and it needs to be able to do live research and validate its research, and then it also needs to be able to pick a winner, but not just randomly. It needs to have conviction behind its picks. So how does this happen? First, I'm using a persistent data store. So every time I seeded the database with a comprehensive report on every team and how they've been doing so far in the season. It's broken down into around 5 different categories, going from injuries to key player profiles, things of that nature, just things that would be part of knowing a comprehensive team evaluation. I'm every single day, every 30 minutes or so, I'm requesting for new games. It's actually like every 4 hours. You don't need to request every 30 minutes, so ignore that. When I find a new game, it triggers a brand new team research event. My agent on the server starts updating the state of the team. So since its last research entry, it does web searches. It reads all the pages that it searches for on the internet, and it compiles a brand new state for the team. And then 2 to 4 hours before tip-off, the research agent gets triggered again. It does another live look to confirm any injury reports or any breaking news. Does that, updates the running state or the ledger of how this team has been doing for the course of the season. And then it throws it over to my picking agent, who takes all the compiled research from Team A, all the compiled research from Team B, and is designated with a task of picking, which bet should go on, or bet should be placed. And so that's how this is working. The cool thing about it is, currently we're sitting at 58.2%, which obviously means that this is profitable if somebody were to tail these bets being predicted by BetBot. But it's also a lot. There's a lot of room for improvements as well, because as more data accumulates, which is being stored in my database, I can run all sorts of analysis on the data, try to find correlations between data integrity and data quality, and when the agent picks correctly, when the agent is wrong. You can do all sorts of different analysis between, okay, does the agent do better with picking spreads versus totals? Lots of different analysis that can happen, and it's only going to get better as time goes on and more data is available and accessible. So that's kind of the premise of this experiment and BetBot. As you can see, I've got an entire dashboard here that's showing kind of like the edge that the agent predicts that this bet has, all sorts of outcomes. We've got all of the research that goes in. These are game-specific matchups, so it'll do like a very comprehensive research analysis on each team, and this is the stuff that gets fed into the pick agent. So yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. It is something that I'm going to be continuing to work on. Another cool feature that I'm doing is I've integrated SMS notifications. So if you're a user on BetBot, you can subscribe and get the picks as soon as they're made. And like I mentioned, the agent goes in, the pick agent goes in and makes its predictions 2 to 4 hours before tip-off to get the most recent and up-to-date data to influence its pick. And so yeah, I thought this was cool. If you guys are interested, I'd love to hear any of your thoughts.